Welcome to Fitness Follows Faith Beta. These videos didn't make the cut, but they're still fun to watch.
There's a story in the Bible about a group of people called the Israelites who were enslaved by the Egyptians for 400 years. And then God used a man by the name of Moses to convince Pharaoh, the Egyptian leader, to let the Israelites go free. Soon after leaving Egypt, Pharaoh changed his mind and told his soldiers to chase after the Israelites and bring them back. The Israelites had just approached the Red Sea when the soldiers caught up with them. So now the Israelites are standing between soldiers who want to take them back to captivity, and then this huge body of water that seems impossible to cross, and they are completely hopeless. So now it seems that their green light to freedom has become a red light at the Red Sea. Or did it? I share this story because I believe that if you're watching this video, then you are standing before a Red Sea. But you can't turn back because you know in your spirit you were meant to live in freedom. I also think that this video is God's green light for you to go. The Israelites did not go back to Egypt that day. Instead, God parted the Red Sea for them so that they could walk through on the other side on dry ground. And as soon as they all made it safely to the other side, God brought down the walls of water so that the soldiers that were pursuing them all drowned. Stop standing in front of your Red Sea. Stop avoiding the inevitable and missing out on your victory. There is no going back to the way that you used to handle your struggles. That season has passed, and those methods no longer serve you. But if you choose to stay here, you're guaranteed to remain uncomfortable because you will never feel more unsettled than when you're avoiding what you know you should be doing. But if you move forward, that uncomfortable experience is only temporary. Because although it is scary to trust God and have to walk by faith, it is also the most exciting, indescribable experience to watch God's power unfold in your life and watch Him part your Red Sea and get you through it. If you do choose to do it your way, what are your options? To turn back and go back to slavery? To try and swim through the Red Sea on your own? Any option you choose is going to have uncomfortable moments that you don't want to experience. But if you choose God's way, the uncomfortable moments are only temporary, which means that relief from striving, relief from the weight that you've been carrying is just around the corner. Exactly what the journey entails is uncertain, but victory and freedom are the guaranteed destination. In his message, Green Light at the Red Sea, Pastor Furtick says, I wonder if God brought you to the Red Sea to give you a green light, to kill off the insecurities, to kill off the arrogance, to kill off the idols, to kill off the Egyptians in your life that are holding you captive. I added that little part at the end about the Egyptians holding you captive. But if you're like me, you probably made one wrong choice that led to a series of wrong choices. And now you are in this pit of despair. And I know it's not funny. And if you're like me, you probably made one wrong choice that led to a series of bad choices that brought you to a place where you never thought you would be again. And it's embarrassing because you're like, really? I'm here again. When am I ever going to learn? And that's why I was so encouraged by this message, because Pastor Furtick said that God wants to give me and you grace for our greatest embarrassment. But receiving God's grace does not come in our feelings. It's not when we feel like going through our Red Sea that we are going to receive from God. It's in our feet. It's when we get that green light on the inside of our hearts and we take that first step forward in the direction that God is calling us that we will receive everything we need for our journey. And that's the next thing Pastor Furtick said. He said that God is going to give us resource for our greatest need. Before I started this fast, I kept telling God, I need to be more disciplined because I need to eat better, because I need to lose weight, because I need to have a 6-pack, and then I will have peace. But God gave me the desire and the power and the peace that I wanted without me having to eat perfectly or look any certain way. And then the next thing Pastor Furtick said is that God is going to give us energy for our most draining relationship. My most draining relationship was the one that I had with food. It used to be a constant battle to not give in to my cravings. But eventually my willpower would run out, and then I would binge on whatever food it was that I was craving. And I would feel guilty and shameful. And then I spent all my energy and effort trying to prevent myself from gaining the weight that I thought was inevitably going to happen from the way that I had been eating. But now I don't even crave sugar or bread or cookies or peanut butter or chips. So there's no battle to even fight. In fact, I feel like it's a privilege to be able to fuel my body with whole life-giving food that God created for me to eat and enjoy. God doesn't want us to He doesn't want to just meet our needs. He wants us to enjoy the blessings that He gives us. And if that wasn't already enough, Pastor Furtick said, God is going to give us evidence for our most stubborn unbelief and help navigate us through our most complicated places. I don't know what that unbelief or complicated place is for you, but I'm sure that you have both. For me, it was hardest to believe that I could ever get my eating habits under control or stop craving the foods that were sabotaging my progress. And my complicated place was trying to develop the right mindset so that I wanted to eat things that were good for me, and so that I wanted to live within the healthy boundaries I knew God was calling me to. And most of all, I wanted to find my worth and joy in something other than my reflection. But everything I tried didn't work. I think it would be wise to consider that God is giving you a green light right now. It might not concern your eating habits and weight like it did for me, but I believe that if you are watching this, it's because God wants to give you the assurance, the confidence, the calling to walk through something that you have never walked through before or seen anybody else walk through. And as we have seen from this story about the Israelites, God is committed to our freedom. So much so that God will part a Red Sea for us to get us to the other side where our freedom is, and then put an enemy at our backside so we can't turn around and go back to slavery. But in the end, the choice is ours, and it's us who have to walk through. It's unfamiliar territory, and it looks scary, but this time you don't have to do it alone. Psalm 23 says, "Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me." And that's what this fast is about. It's about turning to God, not to food, not the mirror, not pills, not alcohol, drugs, sex, shopping, social media. It's about turning to God and letting Him finally meet our needs, all of our needs. I once heard Pastor Furtick say something to the effect of, the means by which you achieve something is the same means you're going to have to use in order to maintain it. So how about you? What have you been turning to? And is it time to start turning to something better? I hope you'll join me in my next video as I share some things to consider before doing your fast so that you can start strong and with the right mindset.